Now, Uganda heads to the polls on January 12, 2026 in a high-stakes election pitting long-time incumbent Yoweri Museveni, who's ruled since 1986, against a key challenger Bobi Wine and the musician turned politician championing youth and accountability. Now, with only 8 contenders left from over 200 hopefuls, the race is shaping up amid allegations of state capture, rising repression, and deep public skepticism over electoral fairness. As one of Africa's youngest populations prepares to vote, Uganda's political future hangs in the balance. Let's now link up with our contributor, that is Saddam Mubali in Kampala, as he tells us what exactly is playing out there, even as they prepare for this heated moment.
A very good evening, and thank you for having me this evening. Just to give you a synopsis of Uganda's electoral atmosphere right now is that 8 presidential candidates have already been nominated to take part in the 2026-2031 electoral process. And of course, of the 8 candidates who have been nominated, these ones of course include the major opposition political party, that is the National Unity Platform, which is being represented by Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, also known as Bobi Wine, who in the previous election managed to get at least 3.4 of the electoral votes, of course, against the 5.8 million of the incumbent President Museveni. But this time around, the key focus or key figures to look out for this election, of course, I told you earlier, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is the main opposition political party, but also the incumbent, who is the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni, who is representing the National Resistance Movement. These 2 candidates majorly are the ones that managed to garner most of the votes in the previous election. But there are also some new faces in this election. Of course, we have the representative of FDC, that is Federal for Democratic Change, that is Nandala Mafabi. Of course, that was the political party that was earlier the president of that party previously has been Dr. Kizza Besigye, who contested under that party for almost 4 terms without being successful. But of course, during just previously, the party had internal, of course, conflicts, and it had to split. And now Dr. Kizza Besigye, under his team, with other, of course, people that had left the party, had to form the PFF, which is another political party, and of course they expected to front their candidate, who is Dr. Kizza Besigye, but unfortunately, as I speak right now, he's still in prison. But another new face in this election is the Alliance for National Transformation presidential candidate, who is Mugisha Muntu. Mugisha Muntu once served in President Museveni's government. As of course, he served in that government, a senior military officer, but later on left because on what he termed as deviating from what they had earlier fought for. That they had earlier fought for with President Museveni, disagreeing on some of the principles, on some of the things that he thought were not in tandem with what they had, of course, fought for. Of course, some of the key issues also which have been raised is the constitution without constitutionalism, which in other words, the institutions in the government, which of course some civil servants and political activists say that are not well functional, that they need to strengthen them. To just also give you more of this is that the biggest percentage now, of course, according to what the Electoral Commission has declared, is that from the beginning of next week, that is on 29th of just Monday, which is going to be tomorrow, the official campaigns will kickstart. Different presidential candidates will be, of course, stepping to the field now to look for votes. What now remains is to see who will emerge as a winner in this presidential election, to tackle with the challenges that are affecting the country, of course, which includes unemployment, which is majority the majority of that unemployment, the young people or the youth that are currently, of course, facing that. Of course, there are so many other challenges also, economic growth and many more, but I will be giving you more and more updates as and when these campaigns will start, giving you more updates on that. But also our campaigns basically in Uganda have always been characterized with confrontations where the police and the supporters, especially in the opposition, normally find themselves on the crossroads. For now, that is it. I hand you back to the studio. My name is Saddam Obale, and I will be giving you more and more updates as and when the process and the campaigns will be going here in the capital, Kampala.